statement, do you really mean it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us why.
I feel that if he wouldn't have been messing with white people, then none of it would have ever happened.
Is your family involved with the KKK?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Just about all of my family is.
Your dad?
My dad, my grandparents, my uncles, all of them.
So,
And I have been raised to dislike blacks.
do you dislike blacks?
Yes.
As fate would have it, my audience today, if it's not 50-50, it's more blacks than whites just today, luck of the draw. Do you hate them?
Some.
Well, you never met any of them, though, have you?
Well, I've had a lot of problems with blacks.
Like what? Like what, Asa? You're 18 years old. What problems have you had with blacks?
I went to the mall one night, and I was walking back to my car, and this black guy called me a and I turned around and I said, "What'd you say?" And he said, "You're a and then he beat the hell out of me.
He beat you up?
Uh-huh.
Vicky says that she especially hates white women because all those white women want to do is steal the good black men from black women. Tell us more about that, Vicky.
Well, this is the way I feel.
Tell us, honey. Tell us.
Because I have a 20-month-old son, and I'm 7 months pregnant now with a black man's baby. But that didn't stop the white woman from interfering with our relationship. That's why I hate white women, because they're number men still live 99 without a day. They ain't nothing but jail bait. Just what OJ got.
OJ got.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, as you sit there today, that Nicole Brown got what was coming to her?
She sure did. She got just what all of them need.
On my panel, I have two young women. One says that Mark Furman is her hero, and the other says Nicole Brown got what was coming to her. I mean, and you're not concerned about the future of our country? Yeah. All right. Shannon, meet Shannon. First of our fellas here, a 17-year-old young man, prefers, and preference is preference. This is a constitutional republic. You're allowed to have any preference you want. His preference is to be with white people and only white people and to never have any black friends. Why not, Shannon?
I just like to be around white people. I grew up in a country, you know, my father was prejudiced, but I never paid much attention to it because, you know how, like, you don't pay attention to what your parents do? And I didn't really care in the beginning, like, when I started high school, because I went to a bigger high school. It was a lot more, like, you know, mixed. And I used to listen to, like, heavy metal and stuff, and the kids used to treat me like crap, you know? And I didn't really like that at all.
Why do you make a distinction between black and white?
I just don't like the way they treat me and treat other people.
How do they treat you, Shannon? Tell us. How do they
like
show
in
you
school, when I go to school, they look
Okay.
at me like I'm a piece of crap because I'm white and I'm, like, so different and stuff. And I just, you know, I figure, well, why can't I give them the same thing in return, you know?
Majesty, one of the older members of the panel, I won't tell you how old he is, but he's a very young guy. He owns a salon in Brooklyn. He says that he resents that he's forced to be with white people in everyday situations. Do you think there's like a plague of white people out there? Tell the truth.
Is it a plague? The
Like
reason
an
why
epidemic of white people everywhere you look?
well, I mean, it's true. Think about it. You can talk to a white person that could say they never was in contact with a black person. Can you talk to a black person that said they was never in contact with a white person?
Let me go next on the panel. That's Toby. Toby's just 15. 15 years old, already convinced that black people are offered more opportunities than white people. Everyone has a right to their opinion, and we're going to hear every opinion, if it kills me. Tell us why you think that black people have more privileges than white people.
Well, black people have overrun our communities. They've overrun the United States, for all I'm concerned. And
Let him have his opinion. Go ahead. Go ahead, Toby. Tell him.
and they just treat the white man like, they treat the white people like, and
Have
they
you
get
treated
back.
like-
Yes, I've been treated like.
By whom? By whom?
By kids in my school, because my school, there's only 10 white students.
And so the majority black students, are they teasing or taunting you? What happens?
Well, consider I was going in and they were like making fun of my haircut, calling me Uncle Fester, like
Okay.
that. Yeah, you think it's funny?
Can I respond to that? No. Can I respond to that?
Take it down. Really? Take it down. 15 years old, where did you learn that? Shh, please. Please. Can it? Now, can it? Stop. Stop. Who taught you that, 15 years old? Did your parents teach you that?
No.
Did you read it someplace?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get along, why do you wear like a Confederate kind of deal in an almost all-black school? I mean, don't you know that that's going to make people angry?
Yeah, but I don't care because it's my country.
Tashira claims that she experiences racism each and every day. And this is the worst thing. Tashira believes that a race war in this country is inevitable. How can a 17-year-old girl think such a horrible thought?
It is. White people, they feel as though as all black people is lower than them. They feel like, you know, they better than us. But they don't even know us to say they is better than us.
But do you know them?
No, not really.
Do you want to know them? Tell
Not
the
if
truth.
they're going to act like, try to be better than me and, you know, always look down on me. I don't want to be their friend.
Do white people always look down on you?
The ones I have been with.
Is it fair to say, Tashira, and I want you to be honest with me, that you hate most white people?
Yeah.
Could you say that again?
Yes.
The name of our show, Night and Day, Black and White, Teenage Racism, the focus of this edition of Geraldo. Wouldn't her blackness make
them. I'd have to get to know them before I could say I feel comfortable with them.
On the next Real Story.
Night and Day, Black and White. Something terrible is happening in our country, and it is symbolized or represented by the young people on our stage, all of whom hold ideas that can charitably be called separatist or racist. Maureen tells us that her feeling about black people basically stemmed from an act of random violence by, she tells us, a group of black gang girls. Maureen admits that since that attack, she has developed racist ideas. True?
Sort of. I mean, I was walking up to school, and it was right after school, after a geometry lab, and 3 black girls approached me, and an intuition told me to move out of their way. So I moved out of their way, and the one girl came back to me, and she hit me on the side, and it wasn't just a regular bump. It was, she strained my shoulder, my back when doing it, so, I mean, she meant to do it. And I go, what'd you do that for? And she goes, because you were in my way, you were in my way. And she was swearing at me and whatnot, and her other friends joined in. And I said, look, I want to get out of this. I've never seen you before in my whole life. So I walked away, and the next thing I knew, I was turned around and just beaten at by this one girl, while the other 2 went to get the car.
You're 16 years old. When you see another black girl, say, your own age, are you immediately suspicious or cautious at least?
Yeah, I'm cautious, and I hate it so much because, I mean, before this, I wasn't cautious at all. I mean, I go...
Okay, so say you just saw this lady, first time you ever saw her. How old are you? 16. She's exactly your age.
Mm-hmm.
So say you saw her walking down the corridor. Tell us what you would be reacting. You never saw her before?
I'd be afraid, and I hate it so much, but I would. I mean, after something like this happens to you, what are you supposed to do, you know?
And how would you feel seeing her?
I wouldn't pay any mind to her. I wouldn't. I'd just keep going where I'm supposed to go.
Maureen, thank you for your honesty. Now, next to Maureen, her best friend since first grade, Becky. Becky told us that it's fair to say that she's evolving, but she's evolving, I think, in a distressing way. She says now she's 90% racist. Now, what does 90% racist mean?
I'm more afraid of some black people than I am others. because I guess you could say if I'm friends with them, I'd have to get to know them before I could say I feel comfortable with them.
But you don't have that same instinctive fear of strange white people.
No.
Okay. No, this is what it's about. The youngest guest in our panel today, Darian, 14 years old, believes the biggest problem in our society today is how white people treat black people.
Right.
Tell us about how you feel.
I feel that white people shouldn't down black people just because of their skin color.
Do you think they do?
Yes.
Do you think they do?
Yeah.
How have you been down in your young life?
For instance, today, me and Miss King was walking, and we went into a store.
He's referring to Darren Daniel King, a friend of the program, has been here before and is going to act as a voice of reason. Go ahead.
And this, the owner of the store, I don't know what he was, he just was following me around for no reason. I'm browsing, and he following me, and I picked up something. Is you going to buy it? No, I'm just looking. Well, you can't touch it. I'm like, all right. So I just left. Nah, I feel that wasn't even called for.
Here, let me tell you the story of what it was like when I was in school. I'll tell you very briefly, then I'll take a break. I was in a school very integrated, my high school, very integrated. I don't know that, I wasn't conscious of the racial percentages, but it was pretty even. And in my school, there were the collegians. They hung out together, the kids who were going to college, and there weren't a whole lot of them. There were the jocks, and I was one of those. And then there was the hoods. It wasn't black people on one side of the cafeteria, white people on the other side of the cafeteria. And I'll bet you that virtually every high school in the country today, the black students are starting to gravitate to each other, the Hispanic students, the white students. Forget about the melting pot. This is a new age of racial separatism, and I think the consequences for the country are devastating. We'll be right back.
Is because some people are like so strict about who they hang out with, like the black kids. If God, like if one white kid hung out with them, the other white kids would call them a wigger.
You see the white kids on that side, the black kids on this side, Spanish kids over there, and every every day, man, there's always something going on.
I had a black friend one time, and she just sat there for an hour telling me how I imprisoned her people. Like she was referring to me personally, how I imprisoned her people. It made her people slaves, and I was like, I didn't do it, you know?
Racism, yes.
I have a question for her.
For Becky?
Yes, yeah. What would you have done if 3 white girls would have jumped you, and how would you have felt?
See, I would still be afraid. It's just, the thing is that skin color it's an obvious physical feature. I mean, that's the thing. It's
black girls before for no reason at all.
Uh-huh.
And that don't make me afraid of them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel no different.
See, but I mean,
just getting jumped no matter what color they is.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? You getting beat up. Whoever did it is just wrong.
Okay, let her answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, it's so scary. I mean, our school is about 90% white, and then these girls come up to you and just beat you up. I mean, yeah, but I mean it's yeah, it is scary. And
I'm looking at your color. I'm looking at you.
But see, skin color, it's an obvious thing.
Yes.
That'll go to what?
Okay, honey. Okay, yes.
My question: why do we have to say we're black people or we're white people? Why aren't we just people?
Yes, to the brother right there, Toby, I would like to tell you that is an ignorant person and a person who has no knowledge of his history. You would need to know that you are too.
Go ahead, Toby.
Yeah, well, I don't think of it that way. My meaning, I know where I'm from. I know what my people's history is.
Okay, honey, not on the panel.
First of all,
you want to say something? Daryl?
I
just wanted to say, this is really...
Daryl Daniel King, the Vice President of the No Dope Express, a wonderful program in the Chicago area.
Thank you. This is a sickening experience of the pervasiveness of hate in our society, especially these young kids up here talking about, and I hate this, and my daddy's in the Klan, and I don't think that I ever want to be around white people. I don't, you know, we're all people in a big melting pot of American society. You know, when I was a kid, I went to a school that was 15% black. White boys spit on my head because I was the first black homecoming queen they ever had in the school. You know, but that didn't affect my life, Becky. You know, I had to go on, okay? You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, I grew up in a southern city, Memphis, Tennessee, where, you know, white people would openly destroy black people's self-esteem and anything. But we have to go on beyond that and know that those certain people are stupid and ignorant. And we have to go on beyond that and realize you can't put all black people in one boat. You can't put all white people in one boat. You can't put all Hispanic people in one boat. And all that we've got to understand is there is one God, regardless of who you appeal to. There is one God, one people, one nation under God.
You know, I wish Daryl's message was being heard. I fear increasingly that voice, and I'm speaking content, is a minority voice.
It is because nobody wants
Yes,
to
Becky,
say
quickly,
it.
and then I'll take a break.
My name's Maureen.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I realize that it's just, I mean, it takes time to get over something after you get beat up. I mean, I'm sorry that the next day I can't go out and be like, well, I love everyone. I mean, I'm sorry I can't be like that.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying you're telling stories like this doesn't happen to black people.
Oh, I know it. I know
black people that go to all white schools get jumped on every day, get spit on, get hit, and they have to move on. You think that this only happens to you?
I'm sure
it changes the situation.
No, but I'm sure if there's a...
Not her talking. This is her parents.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I deal with children.
This is not her. This is not her using her own mentality.
I want to hear it from her mouth. Good.
I'm sure if there's someone black up here that got beat up by a white person, and I don't like to say black-white, but if there was someone up here that got beat up by a white person, I'm sure they'd be afraid of white.
But why are we picking on her? Hold it. I want to ask you a question. Why are we picking on her? Hold it, please. Why are we picking on her who is reacting this way because she had this trauma when we're not picking, say, on this youngster who was dissed by the white merchant? Did that make all white people racist because this one merchant was disrespectful? But I don't hear you aiming your salvos at this man. We have to be fair with these young people. They are trying to evolve in a very difficult world, and the worst thing is that our national leaders, and I'm not talking about Bill Clinton, I'm talking about our national lead, they're separating us and separating these youngsters more than anything. Do you think there's anyone out there who's trying to heal, trying to bring the races together? Give me a break. That politician now is like anachronistic. He's old-fashioned.
There's no leader like the leader in your home.
I agree with that.
So,
I agree with that. Let me take a break. I must. Stay tuned. A provocative discussion. 12 youngsters on that panel trying to cope with a problem that many black and white teenage racism increasing at a dramatic and disturbing rate. Yes, sir.
Yes, my question is to these gentlemen on this side. They said that when they was dominated in a black school, they was treated very badly. Now we just wonder, if you was in a dominated white school, how would you treat the 10 black kids that was in your school?
Shannon, you answer that. Okay. All right. Shannon.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on how bitter I was, if I felt like giving it back. Or, you know, whether I didn't really give a crap. I treat everybody the same. If somebody gives me, I'll give them, whether they're white, black, whatever. I really don't care.
But why is race relevant to you, Shannon?
It's like everything's like stereotype nowadays, whether people want to believe it or not. I believe everybody's prejudiced, but racism's more extreme. Everybody's got those ideas in their head about, like, you know, black, white, you know, maybe a preference. Maybe they don't even know they're doing it, but, you know, it's in your head. You're pretty much born with it. You see it on TV. You see it here. You know, I mean, you can see it anywhere. It's
someone instills that in you. I don't believe that you're born with it, but somewhere along the line you do find a difference that there is.
What are you saying, Marriott? I'm sorry.
Y'all one started a long time ago. Had black folks couldn't come into white folks' restaurant to eat. You had to sit on the back of the buses. Got whooped with bull whips and everything. A long time ago. And why you talking like? Why you trying to say? 15 years old.
No language, please.
If I can tell you a bald head can't even spell it. Why you trying to call somebody one? I bet you can't even.
Hold on, wait a second. I don't know. First of all,
Now, Vicky, hold it. Wait, I want to ask Vicky something. You called Toby ignorant, right? But you also said earlier that you think that Nicole Brown got what she had
Yeah,
coming.
but she should have stayed with her own color. That's where it gets started.
Isn't that an ignorant feeling, honey?
Well, she should have stayed with her own. Well, she got what she deserved and what the rest of them deserve.
Do you really in your heart believe that? Or are you just saying that for an effect?
No, I believe it.
She was a race trader. She got what she had coming.
But how can
You believe it also?
Yes,
Wait a
I
second. Casey.
She got what she deserved. Cause
So Casey,
she was the
Casey
waitress.
and Vicky. Casey and Vicky are in agreement on a disgusting... Hold it.
Detrimental people
Casey,
to
go ahead.
our race are the race traders.
Well, Vicky, let her finish.
It's not.
Say it again.
The
Start from
most
the beginning.
detrimental people, the people who are doing the most damage to our race, are the race traders. Nicole Brown Simpson got exactly what she deserved. She betrayed her
Can you tell me why? Wait a second.
No,
Tell
wait,
me,
Vicky,
can I ask
hold
you
it.
why? I want to ask a simple question.
And you hold it, Mary, too. Vicky, that woman agrees with you.
If she messes with a black man, she needs it too. All of them do.
I would not have anything to do with a black man.
I bet you land with a black man every chance you get.
Are you really birds of a feather?
Don't I ain't got no backstabbing.
Don't put yourself on a lower level. Don't ever do that.
Then you wonder why it's racist. Hold on, wait a second. Please. Yeah, I am going to go there. No, it's no problem for me to go there. Excuse me, please. You said, wait a second, they sitting here throwing words at each other, right?
Right.
You're a issue, blah, blah, blah. Wait a second, can y'all please let me speak, please? I didn't say that you caused this. I said words are being thrown. Listen to what I say. I said words are being thrown. You said that is why there's racism. Now, wait, can you let me finish, sir? You said that's why racism is. I asked a question on this panel. Can anyone, oh, shit, I forgot the word. I'm sorry. Give a definition of racism. These are children. You're an adult. Give me a definition of racism. They sitting here, wait a second. They sitting here throwing words at each other, but yet you say this is why racism exists.
Majesty, I
Explain
understand.
what
No,
racism
let me
is.
explain something to you. You hold it to. Daryl. She says the unspeakable. She's a white racist.
Right, and she's a black racist.
She says the unspeakable. She's a black racist.
Right. It's on both sides, and it's both wrong. All I'm saying is wrong on each side. There's no need to curse and lower yourself on a lower level. And then for him to call everybody here was totally detrimental. And then for her to say MF, I understand what you're saying, my sister. I understand what you're saying. We're going back in history. If you understand the history of our country when people were brought over here as slaves, and yes, it's true. Some about, you let me finish, Mr. Man. Okay, like some of our African kings sold us into slavery. Yes, you're going to sell your people into slavery for money, for jewelry, for things that you have never had in your life. Yes, but black people came over here and built this country, and Hispanic people on their back. Now, come on now. Know your history. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these black kids feel that way because of the fact that when they go in Marshall Fields or these certain stores, so the white guys follow them around. They don't follow the white people around. They feel that way because when black guys walk down the street in Chicago, the white women move over to one side because they're afraid of them because they wear the hoods and everything. We've got to get to the point where we're not afraid of each other. And I think it,
honestly speaking, do you think we're moving in that direction of tolerance and understanding?
We are.
Tolerance, understanding, compassion?
It's really sickening. It's scary. And I believe that the President Clinton and the Congress and all of the political leaders need to take a stand on racism and teach our children. Maybe they need race classes in school.
I agree
Maybe they
with
need
that.
people like you to go to schools and teach them.
Gotta take a break. This is my school and I'm teaching. Preaching. Trying. We'll be right back.
Today at 4.
Here as night and day, black and white, teenage racism. Becky's been frustrated not being able to complete a sentence. Becky, tell us what's on your mind.
I don't understand how you can sit there and say that we're racist and we don't want anything to do with blacks, but then you're sitting there saying the same thing, that you like the fact that you feel more comfortable with your color, we feel more comfortable with our color, but you're not being racist, that you say blacks can't be racist, then what is that? If it's wrong that we want to be with our color and you want to be with your color, but it's terribly wrong and we get classified and then we get considered that we are racist or whatever, and you guys are with your color and don't want anything to do with us, then how do you classify yourself?
Okay, we got that point. Casey, you want to say something about what Gerald King said?
I'd like to address what
Go ahead.
the lady in the front row said. Is there any adult here who can give me where the term slave came from? What was its origin?
Why are you asking that?
I'll get to my point in just 1 second. If I could just please finish. If I could please just finish. Can anyone tell me where the word came from?
I don't know. It's probably 4,000 years old.
I would say 3 or 4 when slaves were first bought over here on the slave ship.
No, ma'am, it wasn't. It was the word slave comes from Slav. They were the first slaves. There have been slaves all through history. Every color has been enslaved at one point. They've had slaves that have been enslaved.
Slaves came out y'all white mouths. That's where slaves came from.
Not necessarily.
Out they mouths.
Darren, who are you? Who are you?
No, it's not necessarily that.
Who are you?
The meaning of slavery is not relevant here.
I want
We're
to meet
talking
Darren. I haven't met him yet.
racism among young
We
people.
yelled at him. I haven't met him. Darren, what's on
My
your mind?
white comrades are taking on white guilt. They have to sit and say, it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
Okay.
And I refuse to accept this white guilt that's been pressed on me.
I'm saying to want to be with my own, a preference. Like some people like certain kinds of foods, this and that. Why has it got to be an evil thing to want to stay with my own? That's what I don't understand. Why has it got to be an evil thing? If a black person can walk around, no, wait. If a black person can walk around with a shirt that says it's a black thing, you wouldn't understand it, all right? That's socially acceptable. But if I walk around with a shirt that says it's a white thing, you wouldn't understand. How come I call the race?
Wait a second. You asking me? Are you asking me?
He was actually asking Vicky.
Okay, so we'll let Vicky talk.
What is a
you
white
don't want me to
thing?
take up the...
What is
a black thing?
A bald-headed white person, is that a white thing?
What's a black thing?
I got more...
You understand.
Don't
I got
hang it down.
Don't try to understand. It's a black thing. They can wear their pins like they want to wear their pins.
Toby, I got a comment for you. People like that, I feel that the way you feel about saying this, that, I feel that sometimes it takes a fist to change people. You one of them.
I want to say to you all are young kids. Y'all will get over that. You too, you got to stop all that cursing. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
I just wanted to say to the two girls about that whole Nicole Simpson thing with the interracial marriages. Children who come from interracial marriages don't have these problems where they have to hate everyone, have to worry about anyone. They're people that don't really have a race. They don't care about other people except they know that they're people.
Confused children.
They don't have confused children. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you look like. All I know is you're somebody else. You're another human being. And I don't care what color you are because I'm not confused about that at all. All I know is you're people.
I have a question.
Let me take a break. We'll be right back. I believe teenagers engaging in the same kind of racist rhetoric as many of their elders are teaching. Yes, ma'am.
I feel that when you said this is your world, you're right. This is a white man's world because if you look at where minorities live, you see liquor stores on every corner in the black neighborhoods, and they are trying to ruin us black people. If you look on, they have abandoned buildings so crack houses could be made. That's how y'all discriminate towards all black people. That's what I feel.
Actually, let me hear from Asa. I haven't heard much from Asa. Or Casey or Asa.
I have to bring up a disturbing fact, and that is that of the world population, only 8% is white. We are the minority. And of that 8%, only 3% are women in childbearing age. What kind of future is that for my children?
We got that, Casey. Yeah.
Hello, I wanted to know how you feel for Hispanics, Dominicans, anything else in particular?
Toby, are you confused by that question? That's a good question. I didn't mean disrespect.
Hey, Geraldo.
I mean...
Hey, Geraldo. You.
Oh, me too. If you think I haven't been called worse than that. Toby is my guest, and this is my house.
Yes, pertaining to about the store, I think that's a poor excuse because I live in Brooklyn. When I go downtown shopping, they follow me around anyway. Whether you black, white, or whatever, you look suspicious when you're inside the store not buying nothing. But pertaining to the whole panel, God said he created two individuals, right? And this created tribes and nations to get to know one each another, not to despise one another. Y'all need to cut it out.
So, you think that Toby dissed me?
Yes, he absolutely did. No respect at all.
But don't you think, hold it, Toby's 15, Toby is, quiet please. Toby is 15 years old. Are we supposed to despise Toby?
No.
No, we are supposed to teach him the
We're
right
supposed
way.
to help
and
Toby.
disrespect
We're
is not
supposed to
one
try
of
to
them that
love
he
him
should
and
be
nurture
doing.
him regardless of his attitude. And you can turn
Toby,
your
when
head
you
all
say,
you want, big brother.
when you said that to me, why did you say that to me? Am I being
off?
I mean, do you feel, now, please. Now that you've had a chance, Toby, to reflect on what you said about me, do you feel embarrassed by it at all?
No.
Because
you
what
make
if I...
fun of the white people, but you don't make fun of the black people.
What do you mean I make fun of them?
Toby, did you understand that question? What kind of thing was that? Just because...
No, he did not. That was not true. No, he was not making fun of white people. You misinterpreted that.
What do you feel
altogether.
about Latino people, Latin people? Where do they come in your hierarchy of supremacy or superiority or separation? That was the question.
Oh, well, I think most of them are dirty.
Do you think I'm dirty?
Yeah. Oh my God. No.
Do you wonder why people don't get along
Hey,
with you?
don't touch my head.
Do you wonder why people don't get along with you? Come on. Do you wonder? Come on. He's a 15. He's a 15. Listen, one thing. I want to say one thing. He's 15 years old. What grade are you in, Toby? 10th grade. He's in 10th grade. He's 15 years old. And he's 15 years old. He's in 10th grade. And you know what's scary? That there are millions others who share exactly the same points of view. And if this doesn't make my point of today's program, nothing I ever say ever will. We'll be right back. We're out of time, but believe me, what I said at the end of the segment, what I said about Toby, and what I said about Vicky, and what I said about Casey, what I said about what we've heard from so many of the panelists today, that is, I believe, the next generation. The seeds have been sown now. The next generation of racists. And if you think they are a tiny minority in our country, this is not the guys with the pointy hats. This is not race warriors. This is a feeling that I fear is becoming more and more generalized, and unless we stop it, it will be a plague on our house. Thank you very much. Yes, Chris? Oh, wait, don't tell me another thing about the racial survival, okay? I get it. We got it all. I got it from both sides.
We got to talk about solutions instead of always the problem, like they keep bringing up, the problem.
Okay.
You know, we've got to talk about solutions to healing the world.
Okay.
That is
See you
not
next
the
time,
solution.
folks. Thanks a
That
lot.
is not
Bye-bye.
the solution.